Hello and welcome back to the On the Slate movie podcast. We are super excited to be back after our break. On the Slate for today, we will be doing our second annual Slaties, the best movies of 2025. Looking back at the previous year, we're going to give you all of our personal picks for the best awards. It's the most prestigious award ceremony out there.
The most.
So let's get to it. I'm Wesley.
Jason.
And Asher.
Let's hit it, fellas. So like I mentioned, this is the pinnacle of all awards shows. Forget the Golden Globes. Forget the Critics' Choice. Forget the BAFTAs. Forget SAG. Forget the Oscars. It's all about the Slaties. It's so prestigious that every actor and filmmaker we invited chose not to show up to this award ceremony because they didn't want to give a speech because they'd be too nervous on how big of a stage this is. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
Big following.
So if you win one of these, you've made it. You've made it big time. So all jokes aside, it's been a month since we recorded, and we just had a lot going on the last month. We grinded for about a year or so and just needed some time off due to life transition and everything. But we're back. We're super excited. And how are you guys doing, fellas?
I'm pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'm pretty awesome.
Pretty good and pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just pretty.
Are you?
Hopefully, in January we shared some like short form clips of previous episodes for you guys because we didn't do any recordings in January. So hopefully that was enjoyable. We're planning to do more of those. So if you guys like those, let us know if you want more of them.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good clips we can pull from over the past year and some change. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. We're recording during the daytime, which is unusual because of our new schedule. And we're here in person. So, yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Feels great. And remember, if you like our stuff, do all the normal things like subscribe, like videos, share, whatever.
Yeah. Follow on Spotify and Apple.
Follow.
For our visual viewers, we have hats.
We have hats.
Yes, we have hats.
Are they for sale?
No, not yet.
I mean, if someone wants to reach out and buy one, it can be like a pre-order thing. It's not like we don't have like a store or something online where you can buy one already. You would just have to reach out to us directly and say, "Hey, I want one," and we would order one for you.
Yes.
Yes. Apparently. Yeah. Yes.
They are for sale, but we don't have a store, so just DM us or something.
Yeah.
We'll make sure you
say
get that.
Hello on the street. Where'd you get that hat?
On the Slate.
On the Slate.
Okay.
They feel pretty good.
All right.
First piece of merch, baby.
What is going to be our trophy? Can we use the Flash wallet? This is going to be the trophy that we give out. Last year it was a hacky sack.
Try not to open it because it reveals my address.
I'm pretty sure with as far as the camera is, unless someone has a crazy intense enhancer.
It also has his insurance information as well. So if you want that,
I tried to memorize Jason's social security. Can you tell me if I have it right? What is it again? Is it in there?
It's redacted. Okay. Anyway, should we get to our first award?
Let's do it.
All right. So this is one of our favorite awards to give out. It's kind of fun. And we gave it out last year. It's called the Rule of Cool Award. Rule of Cool, I think, was coined by Jason, the term.
Yeah.
Well,
did he steal it from somewhere?
I'm sure I heard it from something.
Nah, he invented it. You just got to be confident. It was not ever copyrighted, so you can take claim for it.
I did create the award itself. That was my idea.
There you go.
I'll claim ownership of the award. The actual phrase, I'm sure many people have put together that rule and cool rhyme. So
yeah. So just keep in mind, these are movies that were released in 2025 that we will be honoring.
What?
So
my entire list is 2015.
Oof, that's tough. That is tough. Anyway, so Rule of Cool, quick description, is a movie that maybe isn't the best movie overall on paper, but it's really carried by its cool vibes and cool aesthetics. Just in general, you watch it and you're like, heck yeah. It may not be perfect in terms of storytelling or whatever. It has its problems, but still it's worth watching because of the coolness of it. So, yeah. Who wants to go first? So here's how we're going to do it. I guess like last year, we we didn't follow it very well, but each person is going to say their winner one by one. And then after we all say our winners, then we'll go and explain why we picked it.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Anyway, Asher, why don't you kick us off? What is the first Slatie of 2026 for Rule of Cool going to? Drum roll.
Tron Ares.
Woo! Tron Ares. I knew that would
Ares.
be. I knew somebody was going to pick that one.
Oh yeah, and also up front, my list is. I already told you guys, but it's funny because my list of movies I've seen 2025 is way shorter than y'all's. So you might see some repeating movies, but I wanted to pull from movies that like I saw because I knew them well. Because sometimes I can pull like an award from a movie that I have like a good sense of, but haven't seen. But most of these are from the movies I've seen. So yeah, Tron Ares.
Hey, me and Jason gave Dune like 100 awards last year, so we saw like 50 movies. So
true.
Anyway, all right, Jason.
So my Rule of Cool award is also Tron Ares.
Let's go.
Oh man,
I feel like a lot of the awards I would have given it ended up getting snatched up by other movies that I saw after the fact. But I think Tron Ares, when we watched it, it was like made for Rule of Cool.
Yeah.
There you go. So 2 for Tron. Will it be 3? It's not going to be 3. I'm going to go with Ballerina.
Oh,
okay.
So,
one of the few I didn't see last year.
Yeah. So Ballerina is in the John Wick universe. It's a spin-off movie starring Ana de Armas, who plays, I forget her name. It's been a while since
Ballerina.
I guess her group of the group that she's in, like of secret agent spies or fighters, are ballerinas. So she's one of them. Yeah, it's a really great spectacle type movie. I think it works really well in the John Wick universe. John Wick even shows up in the movie for a little bit. And yeah, his scenes are really cool. But it doesn't really take away from the fact that it is like Ballerina's movie. Yeah, I didn't really think that this movie was going to be as good as like any in the John Wick franchise. And actually, I think it was just as good as John Wick 2. Maybe even John Wick 3. I don't think it was quite as good as the first and the fourth one, but it definitely has a lot of really creative action sequences in it. And I feel like in a franchise like this, where you now have 5 movies, it can be probably pretty difficult to conceptualize and write and, visualize new action scenes enough to make it creative, because you have a 2-hour movie. In some case, like John Wick 4 is 3 hours. It can be maybe hard to come up with new ideas, but this one still felt fresh. It felt awesome. Like Ana de Armas does a lot of the stunts, and there's really creative. There's one where like it's kind of icy out and they're like beating each other up with ice skates or stuff. I don't know. It's really cool. There's a lot of really and creative scenes. I know that sounds goofy when I say it, but overall, yeah, Ballerina, I think, is my Rule of Cool winner. I actually made a few nominees that I also want to shout out. Tron Ares was one of them. I really was thinking about that. But I figure I liked Ballerina overall as a movie a little bit more. Ballerina does have some problems. Like it's with these John Wick movies, it's not really about the overall like storytelling, the characters. Although I will say that some of the lore and stuff is really neat. This one is probably the weakest in terms of character and lore. The John Wick series, it's not really a perfect movie, but I mean, it's definitely worth watching just for the action sequences alone. Yeah. It's really not a bad movie. Honestly, I was considering not even putting it in this category for Rule of Cool, because I'm like, actually, it's a really good movie, but I figured it did just enough to qualify for me. So,
yeah.
But I was, considering Tron Ares. I was considering F1. I was considering Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which with F1, I mean, it's
F1's too good, man.
F1 is I liked it. I didn't love it. I certainly don't think it deserved a Best Picture nomination at the Oscars like it got, but it was still enjoyable. You know, it's still cool. The racing was awesome. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, terrible movie on paper, but if you're a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, it's actually pretty good. Like the consensus I've heard is if you don't play the games, if you don't know anything about the lore, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is terrible. Like just no point. But me, who I haven't played the games, but I've seen YouTubers play it just like most people. I feel like with Five Nights at Freddy's,
I actually played them.
It's enjoyable. It's more ambitious than the first one. I think it's better, but it's still not a great movie overall. But yeah, the lore when what's his name, Josh Hutcherson, Mike Schmidt, he's actually essentially doing the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 game,
like gameplay loop.
Yeah, when he's putting on the fake mask and everything. That was cool. And my last nominee was Avatar: Fire and Ash for Rule of Cool. Which that's not the last time I'm going to mention that in nominees today, but yeah, it's the worst of the three Avatars in my opinion.
I agree,
but it does enough to be like to qualify for this. Cause I mean, it is still immaculate, like in how it looks. So I'll talk more about that later, but
quick question. Does the ballerina, does she fight almost with a sense that you can tell she's a ballerina? Like, does she have a certain grace to her fighting style?
Yeah. And yeah, that's a good point you bring up. Cause you know, a lot of times when you have action heroes that are like men versus women or like, you know, when there's a gender difference, a lot of times movies get criticized where, you know, men, like women will clear out a room full of men or like, you know, whatever. In this one, I feel like they actually do kind of consider that because, I mean, realistically, everybody knows like biologically there is differences between men and women, but yeah, she like has to be like super creative because she's like, there's never any instance where she's like the strongest person.
Yeah.
So she cannot like ever out strength anybody. So she has to be really creative with her environments, with weapons, with her quickness, you know, and all of that. And I think it's really awesome. It feels like it feels like almost like a DLC to a game, like a video game. Because John Wicks are like the ultimate movies that feel like a video game. You know, because like the body counts are so high. It's just pure action scene after scene. Yeah, and it feels like they created a different character in the video game with different controls and different movesets. I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. It reminded me of like the Batman Arkham games where you can play as Batman and he's got the more weighty strength-based moves, and then you have Catwoman who's like flipping around and you know, using her whip and different gadgets that are different from Batman's. I guess that's what that reminded me of. So if you're familiar with those games, yeah, definitely welcome addition to John Wick franchise.
Nice. Who's going next?
Interesting. Like, I guess as far as like
go out to everybody.
As far as like Tron Ares goes, we have a whole episode on it, so I feel like I don't really need to. I've talked about Tron enough. I've talked about both movies, all three movies, quite a bit in the past year. Yeah, I just think Tron's a really cool movie. It has like really amazing visual effects. I think the action in it is really good. I honestly don't think the story's that bad. A lot of people hated on it. I get it. You don't have Sam and Cora in the movie.
Sad face.
You know, for what it is, it's a pretty good movie. I think it's a fine movie. And I also get people don't really like Jared Leto, but
not as a person.
Neither here nor there as far as this is concerned. I do think it does like fit the definition of kind of like what we're aiming for when it comes for Rule of Cool, though. Yeah, it's a vague award. There's not strict parameters, but if there were, I think Tron Ares fits it pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hope that makes sense to everybody.
It is like the ultimate Rule of Cool type archetype.
You know, it's like it's great music, great action. The story isn't terrible. It doesn't knock your socks off when it comes to the writing, right? but you can't help but smile and be like,
Watch our deep dive episode. I think we talked about some really good things.
Yeah.
It was a really good discussion for sure.
Yeah.
yeah. So
I'll just piggy off of that because, I mean, as an example, when we saw it and the opening track came on for the movie and the opening credits came in right after Julian Dillinger pressed enter with his coding for creating Ares, like big smile on my face. Just being in this, being in the seat in that theater and hearing just the score with the visuals was just fun. You know, it was like so cool. And yeah, to what Jason said, the visual effects were really good. I think that, like, I don't think it degresses from Tron Legacy. Like, it takes Tron Legacy and then I think just has a nice polished look to it for being something that tries to stay within that same universe, but feel a little bit evolved. And even with like some of the camera shots and like the way they blocked the characters, something about it felt cool. Because there's the scene where Ares and his soldiers are infiltrating NCOM's grid, and like the way they're like scaling the main tower on the side of the building, there's just, they have like a I was gonna say something besides cool, but like they just look cool on their mission, you know?
Yeah.
And just was fun to watch, like their movement and stuff. And even like there was a scene where Ares was chasing Eve and he saw like a vehicle up ahead as he was riding his light cycle, and he had to stop because he was going to crash into the vehicle with innocent people inside. And he literally stopped on a dime, like the way his light cycle just cool. Like, and just almost looked like they like paused the movie. Like the way he came to a stop was so cool.
Yeah.
And like that got an audible reaction for me. I was like, whoa, like
they did a good job of feeling like, oh, this is a computer world that's come to real life. And you can see the distinct difference.
Yeah. Like a computer doesn't need, like a computer program doesn't respond to momentum and inertia like a car would. Yeah. You know, so really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. Cool.
Tron Ares, cool. A 2-time Slaty winner.
Yeah. And shout out
well deserved, honestly. I think that is a really good pick. And I went with Ballerina ultimately, but I don't hate the fact that y'all picked Tron Ares at all. Yeah. It definitely does have some really questionable storytelling decisions. And as a sequel particular, it doesn't function well at all as a sequel. They just really should have kept the old characters. I think all three of us shared that sentiment of like, I think there was more story to tell from Tron Legacy. Yeah. That they didn't really build on that at all. And they didn't really have that anchoring kind of performance in it like they did in Legacy with Jeff Bridges. So it just felt really bland, forgettable, dull, outside of the cool rule of cool parts. Yeah. So,
and shout out to Darby.
Yes.
Darby I think I was pronouncing his last name wrong, but I think it's Facento. Darby Facento. Is that how they said it?
That's how they said it.
Yeah. So Darby recently invited us to a conference, and he gave a master class on how he was a part of the graphics effects for the Tron Ares movie. Yeah. And that just added another like level of cool for me, because him like diving into how he animated, you know, these designs for the grid and for how like Ares sees things was just super cool. And just made it even more fun. Like it makes me want to go back and watch it, knowing like kind of the process behind it. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Darby for adding some rule of cool.
Yeah.
Adding a layer of cool to the rule.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we ever get another Tron movie.
If we do, please just put Sam and Cora back in it.
They're just never box office hits. They just never are.
It'll take another 10 or 15 years, but it'll come around.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely, I think, a good batch of winners, fellas.
Thank you.
trying to pull up my agenda here, but
Agenda.
Yeah, so the current count now is 2 Slaties for Tron Ares.
And 1 for
And one's
Ballerina.
for Ballerina. So the next
Ballerina.
award we're giving out is Best Score. Ooh. So what film had the best musical score in it? You know, we didn't make any rules as far as pure musical score or integration of soundtrack of already existing songs.
Yeah.
For the sake of this, it doesn't really matter which one. If you picked one that was like, for example, like Superman, that had a lot of, you know,
John Williams
had like some actual songs in them that, you know, that's fine, you know, whatever, if you consider that. But anyway.
Best soundtrack, best score, kind of the same award here. Are they separated?
I was treating
Oscars?
Usually, well, there's no best soundtrack Oscar. It's best score. So if the music in your movie is mostly just pre-existing songs, you're not going to get an Oscar. You're not going to be eligible. So anyway, but here at the Slaties, we're not the Oscars. So
we're the Slaties.
Anyway,
we're the Slaties. We're better.
Jason, you go first this time.
Ooh.
Who is this first Slaty winner for best score in 2025 go to?
So to me, this wasn't really a debate. There was only, okay, a lot of movies had some really great scores. Don't get me wrong. But one stood out. One stood out for being cool and awesome and sick. And I promise not to be spoilery, but this is the last award I'm giving out for the movie. But Tron Ares.
That's a good pick. That really is a good pick.
I heard it. We'll
announce our awards first.
Quiet.
We did this exact same problem last year. All right, I'll go next. My winner for best score goes to Sinners.
Ooh,
by
okay.
Ludwig Göransson.
Oh, that's right. He did do that.
And Tron Ares was by
like runner-up or one of your nominations.
No, I mean like who did the score for it?
Oh, 9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor.
Atticus Ross, yeah.
The third winner for best score.
The original motion picture Thunderbolts.
Sunlux.
Sunlux coming in.
I thought you were going to go with Fantastic Four.
Dude, it was hard. So, okay, here's what I had to think about. Are we going to dive into it now?
Okay. You're talking, so go
So, I was between Thunderbolts, Tron Ares, and Fantastic Four. And when I started thinking about it, I was like, okay, which score did I listen through the most of? Because the Fantastic Four theme is incredible. But I didn't listen to the overall score as much as I did the Thunderbolts score. And same with Tron Ares. Like the Tron Ares has some really good bangers on it, but overall, the Thunderbolts score like carries really well for me. And yeah, so that's why I chose it. I really like one standout is when all of the characters are in the Inferno together and they're basically realizing that they're all contracted to kill one another. The way like the music plays into how they're fighting each other, like just feels really fun. Cause like, yes, there is a certain level of tension because like they're all really skilled, but the way just the music adds like another level of hit to it. Cause there's like hits in the music that complement the hits and like the counter actions of the characters as they're fighting. There's just something that adds a lot of energy to it that I really liked. And then, like it was really good about being diverse with even like having really good emotional moments. Like, for the scenes that were a bit darker, the score did really well of kind of keeping on track with that and adding more emotion to it. So yeah, really, really good score. And, another like call out is when Bucky shows up during the highway scene, like out in the West. Yeah. Like there's a really cool, almost like triumphant, victorious feel when Bucky shows up. And then like, you think he's going to come and, help them out, but then he's like there for them. And so like the score kind of complements that.
Yeah.
And it follows the action and the story on the screen really well. So really enjoyable score. And I also like, I know it's not its own composition, but at the end, spoiler, when they reveal that Thunderbolts are announced the new Avengers, the score does a really good job of bleeding into the Avengers theme without it like being super prevalent. And I liked that. I liked how it basically kind of almost formed a medley, I guess. Is that the right way?
I think so.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, a medley is like a mix of.
Yeah.
A medley is like a. Yeah.
It just like bled over into the Avengers enough for you to recognize it, but it still felt different. Like almost it was performed with slightly different instruments or something. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on that.
I agree with like the moments. Like when you think about what has the best score, there's usually a few moments in the movie you can point to. That's like, yeah, that really stood out. So yeah, good pick. Jason, why did you pick Tron Ares?
Because I think Nine Inch Nails knocked it out of the park. You know, I think I mentioned this in our review or in our deep dive, or maybe I said it to you guys off camera. I don't really remember, but basically I was like, the Tron Legacy soundtrack by Daft Punk, every single track in there to me is like really good. And in this one, in the Nine Inch Nails or Tron Ares soundtrack, not every single track is stellar. So I'd still give Daft Punk like the point, but the tracks that are great in the night, they knock it out of the park. And I'd say like at least one or two of them might even be kind of better than anything on the Daft Punk one. So it's like, what do you want? Consistency or just awesome sounding? Yeah. Very like metallic, maybe not quite metallic, but just like, I don't know, grittier. It has a grittier sound than the Daft Punk
I agree.
Soundtrack. It's really punchy. I really like it. I heard they released one teaser track like over the summer before the movie came out. And I just remember being so excited, man, just listening to it. And then finally it released. And I think some of the standout moments from the movie are the opening scene with Ares' eye kind of forming and then him being built.
Yeah. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah. The music playing over that is like excellent. And then when they attack I guess you mentioned both of these. When they attack the Incom grid, the music that's playing then too is also really good. It's just a great soundtrack.
Yeah. And it also sounds really cool when he enters the 80s grid. Like there's a very soft, calm feel to it.
I do like, I like the music for the whole thing. There's not a bad track on the soundtrack. There's not a bad one, but I feel like I'm rambling.
Did you like the vocal inserts?
I actually didn't care for the singing. I know that's like Trent Reznor's thing. He has to sing in his stuff.
That's not really featured a lot in the movie.
It isn't, but there is some singing near the end, and then I think during the ski or the water ski scene.
Yep.
I don't dislike it, but I'm like, when I think of Tron, I think I like my music vocal free.
It took me out of the story.
It's just
his vocals showed up.
It's neither here nor there. I would leave it rather than take it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I think fortunately, like on the actual soundtrack, there's like multiple versions of each song. There's like ones with vocals and ones without that are like the same. They're not the exact same, but they're pretty similar. But yeah, I still think, Sinners was one I considered. I really liked the score for Train Dreams. But Tron, you just can't beat it. You can't beat it for me. I love electronic music. I love house, EDM. I like dubstep.
Yeah. And what I think really stood out with the score, it was pretty clear, like from that first scene on, like the score was really going to elevate the movie in a lot of ways. And that's the power of really good composer, I think. We've seen it in the prequels, the Star Wars prequels, like with all the flaws this movie has, it's like the score really elevates the moments in those movies and makes them. That's part of the reason why people in our generation think of the prequels so fondly, you know, and I think you can apply a similar principle here. And one thing about Ares that I really appreciated was it felt less like perfect in a way, where with Daft Punk, you were in the grid and everything felt like the music felt really fluid. You know, it had that sci-fi sound to it with the synthesizers and everything. And with Ares, it was more of a blend. It felt like it was disrupted. Like the music felt like the tone would sag, the pitch would sag in certain parts intentionally. There was a less clarity of sound. The sound was more unstable in a lot of ways in many big moments. And I think that made sense for the story, the setting being more focused on the grid coming to Earth type thing. So I think that made sense. And the score really elevated the movie, I think, in a lot of ways. And that's kind of what you look for in a best score winner. So
that's such a good point, because in Tron Legacy, like Kevin Flynn's whole thing was trying to chase perfection, and like the score matched that. Like it felt perfect. So I like what you said there. Yeah,
that compared to a much more unstable, aggressive kind of sound from Nine Inch Nails. Yeah, I think unfortunately the movie itself couldn't really match the energy that the score was putting out.
It had potential, didn't quite hit.
Missed opportunities. Well, I picked Sinners.
Yes,
Ludwig Göransson is maybe the best composer working today. I mean, like in the film industry, I mean, he's definitely making a big time name for himself now. I mean, he's got 2 Oscars under his belt. He's about to win a 3rd for Sinners. I mean, all signs indicate he's going to win it again. And not that Oscars are the one indicator of who's good or not, but I mean, I think it is a big deal. Yes, I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect Hans Zimmer. He's also at the top of his game. Shout out to Michael Giacchino as well. I think those are like the 3 right now for me personally that really stick out as being really consistent in terms of making high quality movie elevating scores. But Sinners to me, it was ever since I saw that movie, I was like, this is it. This is the score of the year. It's a very eclectic score. The movie itself celebrates generations of, generations of music among like, you know, historical Black, like, communities and cultures. And it even like, there's one scene in particular, which we'll talk about later, but that kind of blends it all together. And then I just think it's funny how this movie that celebrates Black culture so much is like, the score is written by some like Scandinavian guy or maybe like German guy. I can't remember where he's from.
It's funny.
Ludwig Göransson. That kind of sounds like German, actually, now that I think about it.
Ludwig.
Let me look. Somebody look that up, but while I talk about it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, just his use of instrumentation, like blending in traditional, like Southern gospel type sounds with Westerny type sounds. Because it is a period piece, like it's like early 1900s, I think, if I remember right, late 1800s. So that kind of time period in the American South. And it blends more modern hip hop kind of sounds with it, and stuff in between. I think it, in the way that Göransson like seamlessly weaves it all together, with really, really, I mean, and music is like one of the central themes of the movie. You know, it's very prevalent and important to the storytelling. And you see like the humans express music in their own way, and you see like the vampire aspect, like those characters express music in their own way too. So there's like different kinds of expressions of music and how they conflict. When do they cross over? To me, it's just really, really great work. Maybe a career best from Ludwig. I don't know if it's as good as Oppenheimer, but it's still really, really good. And to me, it's the score of the year. No disrespect to Tron. That was also on my short list.
He's Swedish, by the way.
Swedish. I knew it was Scandinavian. I also considered Frankenstein for this. Tron Ares, of course. Fantastic Four, The First Steps.
Fantastic.
That one was really good. That one was probably the most like one that I can remember like humming the theme a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
every year there's one where like I actually remember, like I couldn't hum you the center score very well right now, but I could hum you the Fantastic Four one. And it's also really good. I think it fits the tone of that movie really well. That retro, but also futuristic, very hopeful, bright.
Yeah.
Not quite as comedic, but hopeful kind of sound.
Agreed.
And also I put Bugonia in there too. But Bugonia would probably be like the last of those.
Bugonia.
They still had a good score. But yeah, for me it's Sinners. So yeah.
Nice.
Excellent
Sweet.
choices, gentlemen. Excellent choices.
Yeah.
No wrong answers.
Yeah, 3 different options there that time. So Tron Ares is still in the lead
Technically
for
in the lead with
Slaties
3.
right now.
Surprisingly, it's in the
Off
lead.
to a leading start.
I have a feeling that'll change, though.
So the next one we're going to do is still in the audio department. This is best sound design.
Best.
Yeah, this one just what movies had the best use of sound? Does the sound elevate the story? Does it elevate the movie? Does it fit in well with what the director and the filmmakers are trying to make? Does it sound cool? How well is it edited? How well is it mixed? And things like that. What is the best one? I'll start this time. Actually, I got to pull it up here. Oh, yeah. I'm going with Warfare. Best sound design, Warfare. All right, Asher.
Tron Ares.
Tron Ares again. All right.
Oh, no.
Jason.
Weapons.
Weapons. Interesting. Okay.
Weapons Warfare.
Weapons shows
So
up.
I was really close to choosing Warfare because I think it has excellent sound design. But like last year with Nosferatu, which is what my pick was last year for 2024, I just think horror / thrillers do a really good job. Like the best ones just have really excellent sound. Like what's scarier? Is it what you're seeing or is it what you're hearing? And I think it's what you're hearing in combination with what you're seeing. But I think like the sound of something, like if you close your eyes and you just kind of heard what's going on in the movie, you might still like get a little bit of goosebumps. And it's like, unlike Nosferatu, which had a lot of like, it was a very wet sounding movie. I think Weapons is not that, but it has a lot of moments where you're just kind of like I always think of the scene, if you've seen it. I'm sorry, spoilers if you've seen it, but the scene where she's in the car and she's like watching this house and she falls asleep, and you just kind of you see and hear the door open of like the house she's watching, and then you don't really get a good look at who comes out of that door or anything, and you're just kind of listening as she walks up and then opens the car door, and then
Nightmare Fuel.
The shuffling of getting into the car, and then hearing and then there's the like listening to the scissors go snick. It's just really good stuff, and the whole movie's like that. It's just really intentional with the way it uses its sound to really build up like the fear factor and the tension, and you're just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Best sound, Weapons.
Best sound. So I went with Warfare. Weapons is a good pick. I didn't put that on my short list. What did I put on my short list?
Better make it a tall list.
I put Tron Ares on my short list.
Nice.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. I put Sinners. Sinners also would have been a good pick here. And F1. I put F1 on there.
Dude, F1 and Warfare were the other two, like the ones I thought of.
Like engines already give you an advantage sometimes.
Yeah, but there's a difference because you get like Fast and Furious movies and like, I don't need to nominate that for sound or something, but you get.
I think the first one you could like the sound in Fast and Furious one.
Yeah, I mean that was the first one, and that was like a big deal. When
I
it
think
came
Tokyo
out.
Drift also has really great sound. Anyways,
But yeah, I ended up going with Warfare because sound, I think, is its own character and really contributes to the memory. So the whole movie the concept is the director Ray Mendoza, or one of the co-directors. The other director was Alex Garland. He was a soldier in Iraq back in the early 2000s, and he just recalls like a singular day, like an event. It doesn't like really have a plot, I guess. I mean, a little bit. It doesn't have like a message really. It's just like, here's how I remember it, and let's tell this story to the world. And one of the key parts of that memory was the sound, like the sound that you actually experience in war, and how much that can affect you accomplishing a goal. And I mean, obviously you have gunshots, you have explosions, you have warfare sounds like that, which I think those alone are really good and worthy of recognition. Because yeah, I mean, they do a good job of making them sound real and not necessarily glorified in a way. Like the sounds of the guns are not, they're not like boom, 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 boom all the time. They're like more of like a dry, airy sound, almost like pop a lot of the time, which I think is really good because it's not interested in like telling you, hey, this is a cool scene. Like, no, this is like a horrifying sequence for these, like a real thing that happened to people.
Yeah.
And also one thing that stuck out to me was how they, like, there were some injured soldiers and they were asleep for a while because they were knocked out. Like, you know, because their injuries, they were knocked out. But then when they woke up, they started to feel the pain that they were in. And there was like half of the movie, well, maybe not half, but there's like a good portion of the movie where these guys are just in horrific pain and are screaming and like, and how that like plays a role and how it's like really distracting, you know, and like you care about this person, but they're also like fighting for their lives, trying to accomplish a goal. So how that plays into it, I thought was really effective. And how the talking behind all the yelling, it was hard. They were like hard to communicate and everything. Yeah, overall, it's just a crime that this did not get an Academy Award nomination. It wasn't even on the short list, which is so dumb. It got nominated everywhere else, but I think it's for me the clear winner this year for best sound design. So
Nice.
Warfare.
Nice.
Asher.
Yeah.
Tron Ares.
I don't have much to say about Tron Ares with the sound design, but with it being, you know, like the sci-fi computer-based world, they just did a good job of like adding to how Ares sees the world and like how does that translate audibly, you know, as he's like scanning things and sifting through data, like what does that sound like for the audience? And then even just like what does it sound like in the grid? And yeah, it was just like a nice compliment to the like the score, and with the way like Ares is presented as an AI character, and so like with how much processing is going on, there is a nice audible representation of that, you know, just like even with little clicks and tick sounds like that make you feel like he's sifting through data and like scanning and whatnot. And then even I remember like one scene when he's outside after the presentation in the beginning of the movie and he's looking at the rainfall and just like observing Earth and just like taking it in and, you know, just like processing that. I think they did a really good job of just adding some really good like subtle sounds in a way that made you feel isolated with him in that moment. Like, yeah, he's kind of still, he was like right on the edge of this big metallic warehouse, But then as he was observing just these natural elements of Earth, he felt like isolated with him as he was just taking it in. So yeah, those are some thoughts on Tron Ares for the sound design.
A worthy winner. Now a 5-time Slaty winner. Right?
4.
Is it 4?
It's 4.
1 for score.
1 for
2
sound.
for rule of cool.
It's 4.
Okay. 4.
It's 4.
Nice.
Shiny.
Yeah, and Tron was on my short list too. Yeah, I think definitely. I remember we also talked about that more in depth in our deep dive episode. So yeah, check that out if you want to hear more. So, yeah, right.
Nice.
3
guys.
Slaties in. How are we feeling, boys?
Feeling good.
Feeling
right.
pretty spry, pretty frosty.
Pretty frosty. Well, these supporting performances were frosty. That we're about to talk about. That was a terrible segue. Yeah, so the Slated for best supporting performance. So obviously not the lead character in the movie, but the ones that really stole the show, even though they didn't have the most screen time or the most lines, but had a huge impact. So this time will be Asher going first.
Isaiah Bradley, played by Carl Lumley in Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Brave New World getting a Slaty. That's crazy.
All right. I don't hate it. All right, Jason.
Jacob Elordi.
Frankenstein. That's a good pick. All right. I'm also going Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein.
Okay. 2 for Frank.
Yeah,
For Frank.
I had
Franken 2.
this was a pretty tough one because you combine like both male and female performances. But I ultimately went with Jacob Elordi. My other short list was David Johnson from The Long Walk, Emily Blunt in The Smashing Machine, Paul Mescal in Hamnet, and Inga Ibsdottir Lilius from a movie called Sentimental Value. So those were my 5, but to me, I think Jacob Elordi stole the show. I think he was the most memorable. It wasn't like a big showy performance, really. He did have some like angry, violent moments, but that was not really like the core of his those weren't like the memorable moments of his character. Really, like when he starts telling his side of the story in the Frankenstein adaptation, which is like halfway through the movie, is where you really get to see his character unpacked. It's I think a really faithful adaptation of Frankenstein. It is different in certain areas for sure, but the heart of it is the same. And yeah, Jacob Elordi, I mean, obviously puts on the makeup, does the whole thing where it takes hours and hours. All that looks great, and it's hard to act in. But I think really for him to not feel like a monster in a way, like, and that's a big theme of the book. It's like, who really is the monster? Is it the monster we create, or are we the monsters that create the monsters? Right. So just the scenes where he's learning how to be a human, essentially, from that old man in the cottage, which I think in the original Frankenstein, it's like a girl, like a little girl, but I don't know why they went with the older man, but I guess because he represented wisdom. He represented a long life of, seeing hardship and also beauty at the same time. And just seeing the monster kind of learn about life through this whole, through this situation, as opposed to how he was learning about life. It was a more cruel, brutal way under Victor Frankenstein. To me, that was really, it was really beautiful to see that unfold. And it wasn't like a huge performance. It was honestly pretty subtle, but I think that Jacob Elordi was really, really convincing and like really made the character work well for the movie's success as a whole. And like Oscar Isaac was also great, but Jacob Elordi definitely stole the show. Really glad to see he got Oscar nomination for this. I don't think he's going to win, but he definitely deserved the nomination, and he's the winner for me. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with everything you said, Wesley. The moment for me that I always think about is, like you said, like halfway through the movie, he breaks back onto the ship that they're on.
Yeah,
and then he enters, and then the captain is like yelling at him or whatever. he's like, I heard what the professor or the doctor said. He's like, you have heard his tale. Let me tell you mine. Or however he says it, whatever the exact dialogue is. But I was like, I remember sitting there going like, this is some good stuff. Cause I was already having a great time and I didn't really expect this, but I guess I should have cause it's Frankenstein. But I was just like, let's go. And then the whole rest of the movie from that point on, the movie was already good. But then when we get to the monster's point of view, that's when the movie gets like great.
Yeah.
And like, I loved it so much. It's so sad, dude. It's such a beautiful movie.
It's a beautiful movie.
And a beautiful performance from Jacob Elordi and Oscar Isaac.
Nice. Yeah. Good stuff.
All right. Carl.
So, Isaiah Bradley, played by Carl Lumley. This was definitely the standout performance for me in Captain America Brave New World. Well, I think Harrison Ford would be the runner-up. But he's not really, like, Harrison Ford really isn't a supporting performer. But yeah, like, the whole plot line with Isaiah Bradley, like, the way he was able to... Well, one, the plot line was just interesting to me, and I'm kind of upset. Not upset. I'm just a little bummed that they didn't focus on that more, because I feel like I feel like he could have gotten more screen time. But just with the situations they gave the character and how like almost terrified Isaiah looked and felt when he realized like, man, I'm doing these bad things. I'm not the one doing it, but I'm still going to have to go back to jail or back to prison for it. Like when he told Sam after the whole White House scenario, like when he told Sam I can't go back or something along those lines, like I could feel the heartbreak inside. The way he just delivered it, he was scared. He didn't want that life, and he wanted people to see that he's not a monster. Hashtag Frankenstein. And so like from then on out, like he just has a really good emotional presentation with like what script he's given. Because after that, it's more dialogue based with his character because Sam visits him in the prison and whatnot. And yeah, like he just brings a lot of also like grit to the performance because once he's back in prison, he almost like loses hope for himself. Yeah. And you can kind of tell he starts to get jaded a little bit. He's telling Sam like, just don't like forget about me. Don't worry about me. Something along those lines. And I really felt for it, like I felt for what he was going through, and his character, I think, was the most invested I was emotionally for any of like the supporting characters in that movie. And yeah, and Carl did a great job with it. And also too, with like the shift that needed to be portrayed when he was under mind control, where it's like, it's still him, but as you're observing him, there's mannerisms to him that make him seem like he's not himself. And that requires, skill to be able to like, just without even words, visually show you're being controlled, but like, it's still the same body that's doing the actions, like there was something very, like whenever he was being controlled, like something felt, what's the word? Not uncanny, eerie. Something felt eerie about him. Like whenever you saw that he was not himself fully. And so, I thought that was a good performance. And then I know he was introduced in Disney Plus in the show, but when they introduced him in the movie, he's very likable for me. Like he's kind of this almost like older uncle that can whoop your rear end if you badmouth him, like you don't want to mess with him. But at the same time, like that respect also brings a certain level of likeness to him. Like you want to be around him because you're going to get, good stories or just like a fun time with him. Yeah. So yeah, Carl Lumley playing Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah. And yeah, the movie, it was kind of weird because like the movie itself, like none of us really liked it that much.
No.
But it did have two really good like supporting performances in it, you know, from Harrison Ford and Lumley. So yeah, not a bad pick at all. I think he was good. I wish they would have done a little bit more with his character.
I know.
I feel like they kind of just abandoned him. Like, but when he was on the screen, definitely did make a big impact for sure.
Yeah.
Which is, hey, what a supporting character does. They don't show up in every scene, but they make an impact. So
A blimpact.
a blimpact, according to Jason. So, all right. So next we're going to go with a new award, a new Slaty.
Ooh.
It's called the biggest surprise of the year.
Hey.
So what movie took us by surprise? We didn't think it was going to be good, but it ended up, or we just didn't even hear about it at all. And then it comes out, we see it, and we're like, dang, that was a solid movie.
Yeah.
So, Asher, you go first.
Zootopia 2.
Zootopia 2, big surprise. Okay. Jason.
Weapons.
Yeah. Wesley. The Long Walk.
Oh,
mine.
Okay.
That's
So-
a good pick.
Some good
Jason, why don't you take it away?
Dude,
Why'd you
so
pick
weapons. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be so good. It remained at my number one movie for a long time last year. It ended up being dethroned. Spoilers, I guess. But I mean, even from the trailers, I was a little iffy on it. I was like, it sounds a little generic. Oh, like the premise is kind of interesting, but like, I don't know. I don't really know. But what's her name? Julia. What's the actress's name?
Garner?
Julie Garner.
Julia Garner. Like I knew she was about to be in Fantastic Four.
Yeah. She was also in Wolfman last year.
Yeah, she was in Wolfman
Great
last year.
movies
So,
for her. Big year for Julie Garner.
so she was like in a lot of stuff. Or like all of a sudden she's just in a lot of things. So I'm like, well, you know, I'll give it a shot. It's
she
a
almost-
movie. It's what were you saying?
She almost had the Pedro Pascal level of activity.
Yeah, I guess she
If
did.
you think about it, Pedro was in like 4 movies this year or something like that.
It's like 5. I thought.
4. She was.
He's in a
3.
lot.
Anyway,
Wow.
But sounds like it. The premise itself is something that I would watch, anyways. So I was like, well, I guess I'll go see it.
yeah,
And I was like, hey, this is a great movie. It has like this nonlinear storytelling, which I'm a sucker for. Anytime you tell a movie and it's out of order, I'm like, yes, more of this, please. But Julia Garner was like really good. She was, it sucks. She didn't get nominated, I don't think, for anything.
Julia Garner.
Did I say that right? Julia Garner. Yeah,
No,
she
she didn't
didn't get any nominations for,
Amy Madigan got a lot.
which was The Witch, right?
Amy Madigan plays. I'm surprised nobody mentioned her on a supporting performance, but
I mean,
she got an
I
Oscar
thought about it,
nomination.
but might not.
She, yeah,
But Julia Garner, I'm surprised she didn't get nominated for anything for this movie because I thought she was great. Although I guess you could argue, is she really the lead? I mean, yeah, she's our main.
there's not really like a clear number one lead. It could
Well,
be like Josh Brolin.
The
It could
story
be
is
Julia
mostly
Garner.
told through Julia's eyes, but it really isn't also.
It's like each act is told in a different perspective.
But it loops back around to Julia.
Yeah,
So anyways, kind of surprised she didn't get anything. No nomination. The movie itself really didn't, aside from
I think it got like 2 or 3 nominations.
But to me, it was like, it literally was one of the best movies of last year. And, you know, up until the end there, got dethroned for me by like quite a few things that just ended up coming out. But yeah, biggest surprise for me. I literally didn't expect it to be so good. I didn't even hear about that movie until I saw it in a trailer like 2 months before I went to go see it. I want more like it. I
Yeah.
want more weapons-esque films.
Good
Yeah.
thoughts.
So yeah, I picked The Long Walk. I also had Weapons on my short list because nobody knew anything about that movie, and it came out and it just took the world by storm. It did really well at the box office. I had Thunderbolts on there as the biggest surprise. I mean, everybody knew that was coming out, but
Yeah.
a lot of people were like, no interest in it. Like, these are the B tier characters, the C tier characters. Like, why would we want a movie with them?
Yeah.
That turned out to be actually maybe a top 15 MCU movie. I mean, it was really good. I I put Ballerina here. I just didn't think a spinoff was going to work.
Yeah.
John Wick is kind of in a weird spot right now as a franchise anyway, but that ended up being really good. And I also put Sinners as well because I knew that Ryan Coogler was going to be he's a good director, but I didn't think it would be that as good as it was.
Yeah.
But I ultimately went with The Long Walk because this movie was kind of a mix of didn't really know anything about it and also completely shattering expectations for movies in this genre. And Sinners probably would have been my close runner-up because I think Sinners I actually prefer as a movie more than The Long Walk. But
yeah,
I feel like The Long Walk just overall felt like it fit this category more. And also I wanted to give it some love because I don't think I'm going to give it any other awards. But yeah, The Long Walk, the premise, if you don't know, it's based off a Stephen King novella, I think.
This is very first novel, I'm pretty sure.
Or maybe it's a whole novel, yeah.
It's a shorter novel, if it is one.
Yeah, so it's almost like Hunger Games. It's like a death game. It's kind of that kind of vibe to it where you have to walk at a certain 3 miles an hour or whatever consistently. And if you go below that or if you go off the trail, basically you die. So you have to keep it up. It's you can win a wish basically.
You win money and a wish.
Yeah,
you get both.
You can wish whatever you want. So ultimately the movie I thought would just be a fun little thriller, but what I didn't expect was an extremely emotional character driven story, with really great performances. Cooper Hoffman plays kind of the main character. And he's this really good guy, he cares about others, but, David Johnson stole the show. He's the one that, he's the best friend of, I think his name's Ray, the main character. And yeah, I think he gives the standout performance. He's kind of a complicated character. He's clearly the one that you think oh yeah, this guy's going to win. He's the most physically fit, he's got the best head on his shoulders. And just to kind of see them go through the story and endure the hardship that they go through, and the emotion that he brings to it. But yeah, this movie far surpassed any expectations I had. I thought it was going to be a 5-6 out of 10 fun teenage movie. And then it's in my top 10 of the year,
Yeah.
So yeah, Long Walk, shout out to you.
Nice. Okay.
Right. Asher.
Yeah. So this one, Zootopia 2 is the only movie on my list that I haven't seen yet, but it's still because when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, I don't know if this is really gonna go well. I didn't feel super invested in what they showed in the trailer. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be a really good continuation of the story. I knew that the story had good potential to keep going with it after Zootopia 1, but I just wasn't sure. I was this doesn't just, it wasn't quite hitting the mark with me, at least through the promotional material.
Yeah.
But then when it came out, every single person I've talked to that has seen it has only said good things about it. And I was like, wow, okay. Maybe I should sit down and watch this movie.
Yeah.
And even just not even through friends, but even with what I've seen online of how much of an impact it's made just with audiences and with box office. I was like, wow, this is quite a surprise. So yeah, that's the main reasons for Zootopia 2, and hopefully I can watch it here soon, or at least some point in the future.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was surprising that it's made as much money as it did. I mean,
yeah,
I think,
didn't it surpass Inside Out 2? Or is it just the animated movie of this year?
It might have. I think it might have. And the top movie of the year, It's done more money. It's the highest grossing Hollywood movie in China ever, by the way. That was a weird stat.
Yeah.
More than Nija 2?
Well, that's not a Hollywood movie.
Oh, Hollywood movie.
So basically any movie that comes out of the US. Yeah. It surpassed like all the Avengers movies, which is weird. Like you wouldn't expect that from Zootopia 2. The surprising success of it. And I feel like not even people aren't even saying like Zootopia 2 is like one of the great animated movies. I mean, people are just kind of like, yeah, it's pretty good.
For me, it kind of fell under the radar. Like I don't.
Maybe
Maybe I'm not plugged into those
absolutely
communities.
crushed. I think that's a good winner. Biggest surprise. Like how that's more of on a cultural level, I guess. Like biggest surprise. So
Yeah.
Fun new award.
I like it. I like the new award.
So what's our tally at right now?
Oh wait, yeah. So I'm pretty sure Tron is still in the lead with 4. Then we have, I believe,
Weapons.
Frankenstein's got 2.
So it's probably Frankenstein has 2, Weapons has 2, and then everything else has 1.
Weapons has biggest surprise.
No.
and sound.
Yeah. So
Frankenstein has 2.
Weapons has 2. Everything else has 1.
Tron Ares has 4 so far.
Wow.
All right.
Ridiculous. Absolutely
Tron
ridiculous.
Ares with a technical achievement.
Which
but
we should probably
story,
mention
we're
that
probably not going to be putting that. in
biggest
screenplay.
surprise award replaced. That came out last year.
Yeah, we replaced an award last year that was more like it was fun, but it just didn't really fit the vibe of the show overall. So.
Yeah.
But best surprise,
It does fit.
we had 3 different winners for that. So
I like it.
so the next one,
I'm sorry, I keep coughing.
that's okay. The next one is best visual design.
Let's go.
So which movies looked the best?
Yes.
Let's go.
Cinematography, visual effects, production design, makeup, hairstyling, costumes, everything. What movie was the best eye candy? Jason.
So there was a lot of good options this year. A
Nope,
lot
you're
of
taking
good
too long.
options.
No, I'm just kidding.
I've never heard of that movie.
But I think the more I thought about it, the more I was like, dude, this movie actually probably deserves it. And it's Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle.
Oh.
The animated,
Whoa.
I guess an anime.
I've
The
not seen
animated
that.
film. Yes, it is. Well, you know what? We're going to let everybody else go.
I'll go next. Wesley. I put Frankenstein for best visual design.
Nice.
It was the hardest, the second hardest award all day for me to pick. The first hardest is best film, but we'll get to that. Frankenstein, best visual design. Asher.
The Fantastic Four, First Steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
I mean, where do I even start? Like, this one was just so much fun to watch. I just really enjoyed the production design. That's a huge standout for me. They did an insane job of basically mixing this retro future aesthetic with mid-century qualities, and also like tying in, you know, visual traits from like Jack Kirby and even Stanley Kubrick. Like, those were also other inspirations for the production designer. And I just think it was merged really well. Like, it hit like the theme and the world that you feel the Fantastic Four should live in. They nailed it. And even with costumes, you know, especially with the past Fantastic Four movies we've gotten that are very modern, I appreciated that they stayed more true to the characters in terms of how they were originally introduced, from like the costumes to Herbie, the character, and even like the way they designed Ben, the Thing. Like, I know, I guess his character design has mixed feedback from like the fans, but I really liked it. You know, it felt very The Thing, you know, from the comics, and just really awesome designs. And then
he even chiseled a rock beard.
yeah, that was so funny. And then let's see, any other standouts? even like down to the vehicles,
The Fantastic
the
Four-mobile.
the
Or whatever it's
Fantastic
called.
Car.
I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry, comics fans.
The Fantastic Car and
Is that what it's called?
mhm,
Fantastic Car.
the Fantastic Car.
That is a cool name.
Right?
I like that.
And then also with like the way they presented the like any graphic design elements of the movie as well, like the way the title card showed up, and it just all felt very in sync with one another. Like they knew what kind of aesthetic they were trying to go for, and it surpassed the movie. It even showed in like the marketing material. Like it all felt like it was, on the same page with what kind of visuals they were trying to establish. So for the Fantastic Four, best visual design for me.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that did make my short list. Fantastic Four, First Steps. Really liked the sequence when they're in space.
Yeah.
Especially coming back from space.
Mm-hmm.
The escape, I thought, was one of the most creative, maybe like one of the highlight moments of the whole year, just for visual moments. I also really like their costumes. It just feels like the time, like the retro future.
It's so good.
It's like they're just like these cozy sweaters, but also severe. I don't know why I liked it so much, but they just fit. They fit really well.
I'm right there.
I like the design of their tower that they hang out in.
Yeah.
Like the interiors feel very retro vibe, but also
Retro
futuristic.
futuristic.
Yeah.
The visual effects were like decent. They weren't like the best of the year, but I think overall their commitment to doing real sets, great costuming, definitely put them as an honorable mention. Avatar, Fire and Ash, I almost went with because I had the mindset of like, this is just genuinely all-time great, groundbreaking stuff in terms of visual effects. And I thought about it, but I'm like, when I really got down to it, I was like, it doesn't do anything to me that was like, I don't know, maybe I had just fatigue from Avatar just because it seemed so similar to like Way of Water, and it didn't make as big of an impact visually as Way of Water did to me.
You don't have that 15-year jump between the 2009 and the 2022 film that you do from 22 to 25.
Yeah.
Which I'm just agreeing with you.
But again, like I'm not trying to talk trash because it was so good, like visually, but to me, it didn't aid like the storytelling as much as I would have liked in a way. Like a lot of the visual concepts, I think, were reused. Like settings were reused a lot. And the ones that weren't reused didn't feel like very fresh to me. But again, not to discredit the quality of work that went into like executing the designs, but the designs and concepts themselves, I think, took a step back. So that's ultimately why I didn't go with that. But again, no disrespect.
Yeah.
I almost went with Sinners as well. Sinners might have the best like cinematography of the year. What just really, really incredible stuff with how they use like sky, like colors of sky and lighting. It felt different than a lot of other stuff. It didn't feel like as naturalistic, but it felt more stylish.
Yeah.
And I mean, also color composition, all of that worked really well. Costuming, everything. It's a period piece. They did a really good job capturing that period. Almost went with Ballerina as well, just because editing, editing's not really visual. I mean, it can be, but I think the way that, the execution of the choreography, visual effects, I think deserves a nod there. But ultimately, Frankenstein, I think, had the best visual design.
Yeah.
The cinematography we went at length, I think, in the last one of our last news episodes, I think, on like how good it was, just with the clarity of the digital frame. The digital photography, the use of lighting, especially sunlight, felt very naturalistic. It didn't feel like super stylized in terms of like the cinematography, but it felt very stylized in terms of costuming and
Set color.
set design, and just. And also, I mean, just what an incredible design for the monster and the makeup work that they put into that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I felt like it was the most well-rounded visual achievement of the year.
Nice.
But again, pick any of those, and
Yeah.
I'd be happy. Like if you picked Avatar, awesome pick. If you picked Sinners, great. Fantastic
Yeah.
Four, amazing.
Yeah.
So, Jason.
Yeah, so I really did have a hard time choosing this because I thought, like Superman was pretty good. Superman had really great visuals, really great costuming, really great color. I love the way that movie looks and the way James Gunn moves the camera. I'm sorry, it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Works really well. Superman was up there. Sinners, I considered it. Frankenstein, I thought about it. But really at the end of the day, the best looking movie this year was in fact Demon Slayer. If for those who do watch the anime and then have also seen the movies, we watched this because of the animation. I'm sorry. I mean, the plot's fine, serviceable. It's good. It pulls at the heartstrings generally. But what really gets you is the really sweet and awesome sword fights in the
demon slaying.
The demon
slaying
slaying
of demons.
I didn't mention this during sound design, but also just the sound in this movie in particular, and in really the whole show, if you watch it, is really punchy. I really love the sound of the swords clanging when they connect with something. So good. But you know what makes it even better? Watching that, the way they animate it. It's so like punchy. It's so like you can almost feel yourself swinging the sword and hitting something. It's how good it looks.
Yeah.
But it's really like the colors too, man. Like if you're not familiar, basically the protagonists have like these breathing techniques, right? And they're modeled after different elements. And you can see that in the animation. They stylize it, obviously. And they like for folks who use like water breathing, there's like just a lot of waves and rain and like splashes and tidal waves and all this stuff animated with each swing. That's not really happening, quote unquote, right? It's just the way we're visualizing it. But they do such a good job, dude. Or like one of the characters uses lightning breathing. What do you think about lightning? It's fast, it strikes really hard, and it cracks. And you see that, and it's awesome. And
Nice.
I honestly, I know your anime isn't your guys' thing, but I would look up the fight scenes.
I appreciate.
I don't hate anime. At
I
all.
appreciate solid anime. For
I
the
have too many
animation
hobbies,
and
and that's one more to get into. But
It's not it's literally film. It's part of your existing hobby, by the way.
that was beautiful. It's not a hobby; it's film.
Well, okay.
Somebody put that on a poster.
That's not what I meant. Film is a hobby. Film is a hobby. Or it can be a hobby. Or it can be a profession.
Yeah, I just haven't engaged with a lot of anime before, but I'm open to it. I guess I just never have any background in it. So
I feel like if you wanted to dive into it, I feel like a good starting ground would be watching the Star Wars Visions series.
Oh, I've seen some of those.
Oh,
yeah.
see, okay.
Yeah,
Some
I
of
haven't
those
seen
some of those are very anime.
I think anime
Or
fans
you could
would
watch a
probably
real anime. Not that that's not.
what, dude? Some of the episodes are like
I know they're
actual
animated
anime.
by like Japanese art houses. Or you could just actually watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You could just do that. Very easy to get into. Great story.
What anime should Wesley watch first? Star Wars Vision, Full Metal Alchemist, or option C, other? Let us know in the comments.
But yeah, best visual design, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle.
Nice.
So we have 4 more awards. These are the heaviest hitters, maybe. I mean, we already had a heavy hitter with supporting performance, but these are the heaviest of the heavy. We're going to talk about best screenplay next. Screenplay, the script. How good is the writing of the movie, the dialogue in the movie, the lines, the story structure, the plot, everything. That is a result of the screenplay. So I guess it's my turn to go first, I think. So
Why not?
well, let me pull it up. I think I remember. Oh, yeah. I have One Battle After Another from Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oba.
All right. Asher.
Thunderbolts.
Jason.
Marty Supreme.
Marty Spring. That's a good pick.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Three good picks.
I picked it.
So I picked Oba, One Battle After Another. This movie, I think, really the reason why I chose this for screenplay was the strength of the dialogue and character interactions. The story itself was, really interesting, entertaining. I thought it was a really well-paced movie, and I think pacing has a lot to do with screenplay. There's a lot of other factors too. You got editing, actor performance, and all of that. But yeah, I think this was one of the most well-paced, fun, entertaining, crowd-pleasing, like good dialogue movies of the year. And to me, I think Paul Thomas Anderson has had a great career, obviously, so far. And I think he's finally going to win his Oscars. One Battle After Another is the front runner to win most of the big awards, like director and screenplay and best picture. So, I agree with the Academy if that's the way they go. One Battle After Another. Some of the best storytelling and character dialogue of the year. Full show for me, I guess. That pretty much sums it up pretty well for me. Yeah. So
Nice.
Awesome.
why would you pick Thunderbolts? Not that that's bad. I'm just
Yeah, so
Reason.
Thunderbolts, and I'll credit Eric Pearson and Joanna Callow. I think they were the main screenplay writers. I thought it was like a really good ensemble story, but then also like a really good deep character story with mainly focusing like on Yelena and Bob as it kind of dives into like what they're struggling with. And I found myself quite invested and quite moved at times. And I thought that there was a good balance throughout the story with as many characters as there were. There was a clear direction for the overall story. And with the dialogue, there was like the dialogue helped with the chemistry between like as many characters as there were.
yeah.
That the film had to balance. And yeah, just solid story and solid dialogue. So
Yeah.
not much else to say, I guess. Pretty
Yeah,
straightforward.
definitely. I really like the scene where Yelena is talking to her dad. It's like that nice moment, the sincere,
Yes.
I think that was a really well written scene.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun dialogue throughout the movie. So,
And
I think
even-
that's a good pick.
And even with their scene when she visits him in his townhome, like a little bit, like they're both a little bit, well, at least her dad's kind of fronting a little bit, and she's like, just the dialogue felt very real, and it felt like it was really conversational. Like you could feel that was the progression of it, as she's starting out asking him if, how's work? Do you like feel fulfilled? Because she's the one struggling with that herself. And then, there's the progression of like, okay, like now the conversation is getting to the bottom of things, of why she's here, why she's asking him these questions. Yeah, so definitely some good standouts with Yelena and her dad for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you live in an alternate universe where Jordan Peele didn't release a movie and Nintendo didn't release a console in 2006, there is no us, there is no we. It's a scene from Thunderbolts.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
that's right.
What?
That's right.
Well, Yelena's like yelling at everybody else. She's like, there is no us, there is no we.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It was a
you're
dumb
saying-
joke. It was a dumb joke.
Yeah, so
I
you're
thought,
saying
like-
Jordan Peele's movie Us and then the Nintendo Wii. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's a good joke.
That's a deep
It took
joke.
me a second to
I stole it. I'm sorry.
follow along.
I saw it online.
Whoever came up with that joke, that's
saw
The
deep.
Wii came out in 2006.
That was when it was released. Yeah.
That's 20 years ago.
I was 7.
Dude, I'm so old. I'm not saying how old I was.
But we know.
Don't tell
There is no we.
Marty Supreme.
Yeah. We're
Best
talking about
screenplay
movies.
winner.
Yeah, Marty Supreme. I literally just saw this. I was catching up on the last few films that I'd missed from the end of last year, and I still missed out on one that might have shown up here today, but it never will because I never saw it. I won't tell you what it is though. But I did see Marty Supreme, and I knew it was going to be good going in because everybody said it was. So I was just really excited to see it. It just took me forever to get around to it. I'm lucky they were still showing it. For reference, this is like the first week of February. This movie came out in like December.
Mm-hmm.
Literally the only showing available was IMAX, so I got to see it on IMAX. But Marty Supreme was like very well written, particularly Marty Mauser, the main character. The dialogue they write for him is very like slimy and scummy. He's such a scummy dude in the movie, but he's also like super charismatic. Yeah. And in the review I wrote for it, you know, I was like,
Letterboxd, follow us
on Letterboxd. Timothy Chalamet, you know, we know he can do a charismatic character because of Paul from Dune, but this is like a very different charisma. And the way I just described it is just like a very scummy, slimy, gets under your skin, but always says the right things kind of guy. Because he just kind of talks his way into everything. And then, you know, part of that's his performance and part of it's the writing. But then just like the arc they give his character, it's not like he doesn't really become a better person by the end of the movie, but he kind of like gets past the thing that's probably making him a worse person. And I think everyone can relate to that feeling of needing to accomplish one specific thing. And they just do a really good job of conveying that through the writing. And of course, Chalamet's performance.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a very unique story. It's based very loosely on a real person, but not really. A lot of this is just for the fun of it, you know. And it's very creative. I really liked it. It's a unique story for sure. Who tells the story about ping pong?
Forrest Gump.
The Safdies do apparently.
Well, Josh, not Benny.
Josh. Well, Benny
was doing the Smashing Machine this year.
I'm pretty sure they work with each other though. Pretty heavily.
They used to, but not on this one.
Really?
Really?
Do they hate each other?
I don't know. I think they just both
They
wanted
can
to
do
direct
their own
movies.
things, man, and still
They
love
really
each
don't.
other.
There's no way they weren't like talking to each other.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, whatever.
Whatever.
I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes the Coen brothers don't do movies together. You know.
Y'all, you and Wesley work separately, but you talk to one another.
That is true.
Yeah.
Almost.
I wouldn't do the OTS podcast without Jason though.
Oh yeah, that's different.
Anyways,
he was thinking about how he would do it without me.
No. We love Wesley. Can we give it a round of applause for Wesley?
Thanks. Yeah. I'll clap for myself.
Never mind.
Give it a round of applause for Jason. Come on. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, I mean, I also had Marty Supreme on my list. We're not going to clap for Asher, by the way. Let's clap for Asher. Asher gets the most claps, honestly. If we didn't have Asher, then none of this would happen. Me and Jason would just be talking about movies to each other. Nobody would ever know about it.
There wouldn't even be a camera. It would just be us.
Yeah, I had Marty Supreme, great pick, as one of my short lists. I also put Wake Up Dead Man, the Knives Out third movie.
That is a really good screenplay.
It's a really great screenplay. Probably the best. I mean, is it as good as the first one? I don't know. Yeah,
I think it's better than the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good, really good. Ryan Johnson. Actually, he hasn't made any bad movies, guys. I promise.
Famous director of the highest rated Breaking Bad episode. That's all he's known for.
Also, the least controversial and best Star Wars movie. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
We're all laughing at that one. We're all laughing.
It's going to be really fun to record an episode only on Last Jedi one day.
I also want to shout out Bugonia. That was a really good screenplay. Craziest ending of a movie of the year was the Bugonia. Also, Sinners. I've got to shout that out. Had a really great screenplay as well. So, yeah. Next up is Best Director. So, which movie had the greatest achievement in direction? Just one that you could see a clear vision, the concepts of a film being executed at the highest level. Which movie really had like it's the themes and the tone of the movie was consistent and effective for the storytelling. Given the script and everything, which director did the best job of elevating the movie above the skeleton of it. So, Jason, I believe, is first. That could be wrong, but whatever.
Why not?
Just because I don't want to butcher it, make sure. Park Chan-wook for No Other Choice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go next. I have Ryan Coogler for Sinners. That's my best director. Asher.
Jake Schreier for Thunderbolts.
Oh, wow. The Thunderbolts.
Asher
Sweep.
single-handedly carrying the Thunderbolts.
Asher's Thunderbolts sweep might be the most winningest Slaty this year. It's just crazy. I would not have expected that. Or winningest movie of Slaties.
Winningest of winningest.
So, Jason, why did you end up going with the selection that you made in Park Chan-wook?
For No Other Choice. So
he had no other choice.
I literally didn't have a choice.
That's
no.
funny.
So, dude, this movie, it's ridiculous. It got no nominations at the Oscars. 0. Not
I don't
even
know what Park
best-
Chan-wook gotta do. He also had Decision to Leave a few years ago, and like everybody raves about his movies. I don't know. He must have some dirt on somebody. Or wait, no, somebody has dirt on him or something. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway.
But so not even nominated for best foreign film. All the other stuff they listed, I never even heard of. Maybe that's on me for being American. But, dude, again, another one of those movies that's like really close to being my number one for 2025. I saw it. Unfortunately, I didn't see it till January. But dude, you want to talk about a masterclass in like directing? This movie might be like one of the things you would show to like film students.
Okay.
He's very, now part of this is probably the cinematographer too. They're very creative with the camera and their transitions. Dude, the transitions in this movie are so freaking good. There's this scene where a character is having a flashback, and it's not even an important character, but it's really like, it's a really neat addition to the story. But they pull out a lighter and they flick it, and the scene transitions to the flashback. It's so cool, dude. It's very simple. It's like, but it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, if I were to make a movie, I would never think to do something so simple and elegant in like 10 million years. But he's doing it. There's a lot of transitions like that. The way he directs these characters and these scenes in general, there's like this layer of kind of like dark comedy for everything. So it's like a very serious movie that's talking about some really serious like topics, particularly that I didn't know this until watching the movie and researched after it, but it's like some stuff that's like really relevant to like the culture in Korea regarding like work and stuff like that. But everything's got like this little subtle undertone of comedy to it that like doesn't lighten the mood necessarily, but it's just like you can laugh at it in the back of your head because everything's also like super ridiculous. Right. And I think all that stems from the directing on some level. Yeah. And I really wanted to give this movie some love. I think it deserves it. If it were nominated, I wouldn't be disappointed with it winning all the major categories at the Oscars. That's, I think it's up there. And I, personally speaking, I really liked PTA and OBA, but then I saw this and because initially before seeing this, when I was thinking about what I'm going to make my best director, because I'd been thinking about it since like December, it was OBA for a while. It was Paul Thomas Anderson, but Park Chan-wook with the last minute sweep.
The late sweep.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. I haven't seen that movie, but I've heard it's really good.
You need
So
to watch it.
I've been really busy lately. It's been hard to see movies. And I don't even think where I live and have moved, I don't think it has come to the theater that I can go to. There's a couple around. Maybe I had to look a little bit deeper to find it, but hopefully it might come out on streaming, which I hate saying that. But I might have to wait till it comes out on streaming to be able to see
Even
it.
though we really love Frankenstein.
Go to the movies, kids.
Go to the movies.
Asher.
Yeah.
Or wait, was it me? Well, sure, you can go. Jake Schreier.
Jake Schreier.
For the Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Kind of hinting or like kind of tying back to what I said about the screenplay. I think he did a really good job of balancing the amount of characters that they had to focus on. And there was a clear sense of hierarchy of like who are the main leads, who's kind of right underneath them, who are the other supporting actors and actresses. And I just thought it worked really well together. Everyone's screen time and amount of dialogue and amount of like character arc felt appropriate for each person. And then also like the chemistry, I think, you know, one, chemistry is reliant on the two actors or however many, like just the people actually performing, but you know, the director giving them the space to do that and the permission to do that and the guidance to like lock in for that. I think just the chemistry was really good. And also with the fact that he was given characters, like how you said earlier, Wesley, like these characters are kind of considered B tier and C tier in terms of like popularity. And so like the fact that he was able to make like help these characters shine on screen. And I know that it's also with the writing and with the performances, but just to be able to lead this group of characters that essentially people like, I would say like a lot of people like them more now than previously, like before watching the movie, just because of how like how well they were delivered on screen. And I think that's really notable. Like it's a challenge in itself, you know, like he wasn't given, hey, here's Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, Hawkeye, and Black Widow, like make something good. You know, he was giving characters that already kind of had like maybe a little bit of bad stigma to them. Out of all of them, I think Winter Soldier was the most lovable going into the theater, but you know, like helping these characters really shine. And then also like with the antagonists too, like DeFontaine, what's her first name?
Allegra DuFontaine.
Yeah, like
Lorraine from Seinfeld.
Yeah, Elaine from Seinfeld. Yeah, like just you know, even with the antagonists like her, you know, having her tied into the story enough to feel relevant, but also like not taking away from sort of the internal antagonist that Bob was struggling with.
Yeah.
Just a really good, I think he did a good job of balancing the project that was set before him. And honestly, you know, a great Marvel film.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, Ryan Coogler for me, for Sinners. This was really hard to pick. The director was really, really hard to pick. So the other options that I was...
Benicio
del Toro,
Guillermo.
Guillermo del Toro. Almost went with him. I almost went with him. That's such a great adaptation of the book. And again, we've already talked to the numerous times about the visual, like, well, you know, that was my pick for visual design. And a lot of that is directorial vision. And of course the cast of characters was great in Frankenstein. There's also Paul Thomas Anderson, I think, deserves a nomination. I mean, it's an incredible film. Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme. That's like a movie that was, it almost seemed like it was like a high degree of difficulty film to make. Like it's so much is going on and it's so crazy, and the way that he's able to bring everything together was really, really impressive. And also Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, the most emotional movie of the year. Really, I mean, if you talk about a director getting the most out of the actors and creating emotion, which is, I mean, I would really, again, I'd be okay if you picked any of those.
Yeah.
But ultimately I went with Ryan Coogler because to me that was the most unique and creative film that brought together like a serious drama and like a vampire genre film and blended them in really well. I don't think Sinners is a perfect movie. I don't think any of these movies are perfect movies. But I think as far as a director's vision coming to life the most, I'd have to say Sinners. It's a very dense movie. And yeah, as far as like, this is the culmination of one person's work, an auteur, like Ryan, for me, it's Ryan Coogler stuck out the most.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are saying that this award should go to Paul Thomas Anderson, and I'm okay with giving him the screenplay award, but I think as far as a director, like, this is the most, I think, complete film in terms of what you want out of a film in general. An exceptional cast, great visual language from the director, a great sound, score, like everything. Like, you can tell he brought everything together in a way that makes this one of the most memorable movies of the year. And I'm really excited to see what Ryan Coogler does in the future. I think he's, in the past, I thought he was a good but not great director, but I really think with this one, it's like, wow, he showed the world what he can do. And it's an original movie.
Yeah, I was about to
like,
say,
it's
like,
not, it's like, I'm not trying to hold that against, because Guillermo del Toro, what he did, was incredible as well.
Yeah.
And I almost went with him. But yeah, it's Sinners for me. Ryan Coogler, director of the year. He's probably not going to win the Oscar. Is probably going to go to Paul Thomas Anderson. But
Peter.
I wish that Ryan Coogler probably will win the original screenplay award. And Paul Thomas Anderson will win the adapted and director. But yeah. Anyway, it was really hard to pick, though. I could change my mind tomorrow and put Guillermo del Toro. I had Guillermo del Toro winning it like a few weeks ago, but I changed my mind. So anyway, that is Best Director. So our last two awards: Best Lead Performance. Or wait, did everybody go?
Yeah.
Everybody went. Okay. Yes. Best Lead Performance. Asher, you're up first.
Lewis Pullman as Bob, or Sentry in the Thunderbolts.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Lewis Pullman. Okay. I think I'll go next. I have Jessie Buckley in Hamnet.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
She was amazing. And Jason.
Michael B. Jordan, Sinners.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So Asher. Yeah. Lewis Pullman.
Yeah.
So why? Okay. I have a question. So I
Yes.
think we were talking about this earlier a little bit.
Yeah.
Why would you opt for him and view him as the lead performance? And also explain why you think it's the best of the year.
So partly why it's best of the year is because I'm pulling from the movies only I saw, basically. And out of the movies I saw, this one, I chose this one. And so for your other question, I was kind of seeing this movie as having basically almost two equal leads. One being Florence Pugh's character, Yelena, and Lewis Pullman's character, Bob. Because I feel like they have enough screen time, they have enough attention in the screenplay to say, like, hey, these two characters are complementing each other.
Yeah.
They're kind of like working off of one another. And it's, to me, it feels like a duo lead. And so I was also thinking about choosing Florence Pugh, but so it was kind of hard. But what I really liked about Lewis Pullman's performance is that, like, he does a really good job of kind of like portraying someone who's not necessarily he's not necessarily bipolar, but like the things he's been through, he's sometimes schizophrenic, like he sometimes is almost childlike in his thinking, but then there's times where he's leaning into the void, I guess, the internal void of him. And like he just kind of gives in. And when the Thunderbolts fight him, I liked the way he basically fought them off, but like you could tell in his facial reactions that like he's kind of questioning what's going on. Like, why are they fighting me? Like, this one lady told me I'm all powerful. I don't need to listen to anyone. She's telling me now I need to like kill them. I don't want to. Like, they're my friends, but they're also trying to fight me. Like, you could kind of tell just the conversation he was having in his head without saying anything. And then honestly, like what took the cake for me was when Yelena meets him in the void in the attic, and he's just sitting there because it's a quiet space, and you realize that below the attic is like a memory of his where his dad was incredibly abusive to him and his mom. And just like with Yelena realizing what's going on and his delivery without even saying anything, just his emotions that he brought to the role, I think just really took the cake. And, you know, it brings me to like so much emotion. You know, I don't exactly know, like my father was great, you know, he wasn't abusive, but just the amount of pain that I felt from his performance just felt very real to me, and very believable. So, you know, those are my thoughts on that. And plus, I think he does a really good job of bringing humor through his role in ways that make sense for his character. You know, like he's almost like this child who's a little on the edge a bit, and also like sometimes a little stoned, even though he's probably not. He's just like out of it sometimes, you know. So just all around, I think he did a really good job with the complexities that I think the character required for the performer. So Lewis Pullman.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, he is kind of like that emotional center of the movie. You know, like a lot of the movie in the plot depends on like how he is feeling, like what he's going through. So it's kind of like a battle over like his mind. Like if the Thunderbolts went over his mind, like it's a good ending. If you know, Valentina wins, you know, everybody dies kind of deal. So, you know, and he does a good job of, like you said, portraying that pain, and also that kind of, he's kind of goofy too, you know, he's funny. Oh, hey guys, I'm Bob.
Or like when
that's funny
when they were like going through the different realms in the void, and they had to fight the chicken version of himself, like when he was a sign spinner, and he was like a crazy guy in a chicken suit fighting them, and they said something, and he's like, "Don't blame me, I was on cocaine," like, or something like that. Why he was so crazy in the chicken suit.
Really great. For me, I picked Jesse Buckley for Hamnet. I had a few. Again, it's really tough to pick. I almost went with Timmy Chalamet for
Timothy
Marty
Chalamet.
Supreme.
Timmy.
That would have been a great pick. Leo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another was awesome. Dwayne Johnson, put respect on his name.
The Rock.
For the Smashing Machine was excellent in that movie. I really
Can't forget that.
excited to see what he does going forward. I know he's got another freaking Jumanji movie coming out, but I'm hoping that this is a entry to like better movies for The Rock. You know, I like I like kind of the role he's carved out as this funny, tough guy, but it's good to see him have some range.
The Tooth Fairy.
Like his movies usually are pretty bad, and he's like the best part of the movie, the bad movie that he's in. But now he's the best part of a good movie that he's in. So I know not everybody loved The Smashing Machine, but I did. I think it's a borderline top 10 of the year for me. So, and also Renata Reinsva for Sentimental Value, which I did mention another actress earlier. I forgot to talk, but that was a really well acted movie. If you haven't seen it, well written, well acted movie. It's not like a
little boring.
It's a little boring, but it's, again, if you have an appreciation for slower, more character focused, more really supernaturalistic, realistic type dialogue and relationships. Stellan Skarsgård also great. I don't even know why I didn't have him at best supporting performance, if I'm gonna be honest. the other options are also really good, but he's probably going to win an Oscar. Good for him. Also, but his best performance this year was in Andor, I think. But whatever. That's not a movie. That's a show.
Was Sentimental Value, was that the one you said you almost or did fall asleep during?
I don't know if I fell asleep.
Was that the one you were talking about?
We were talking about it, and I kept making fun of him because he's like, I really like it, but I was like, but you think it's boring?
Oh, so
I just kept poking
it's
fun.
one of those movies where like I have a tremendous amount of respect for. Like it's extremely well made. Like it's super polished. Acting is off the charts good.
Yeah.
Writing amazing. Direction amazing. But the thing is, it's like I just kind of like lost interest. I don't know. It's weird.
It's like so, I can't, like, so good, but
I almost feel bad for not liking it. Like it's a me problem, I guess.
Would you equate it to caviar?
I guess
because caviar is like really fancy and stuff, but it actually sucks. I think
but like sucks. I would rather have a greasy Domino's pizza. Like I don't know. Like, you're right. But anyway,
give me another Jumanji, please.
To be fair, I think I did end up putting it in my top 10 of the year.
You did.
But I ultimately didn't want to. It just never came out on top in any category for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it had a great performances in it. Shout out to 4 acting nominations for Sentimental Value at the Oscars.
Really?
1 in each category. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
So, or actually, no, 2. No, they didn't have best lead actor. It had 2 in supporting actress. But anyway, Renata Reinsva was the main character. She was unreal in that movie. But Jessie Buckley goes through like an entire life worth of experience in a matter of like a couple, like maybe a span of like 10 years or so. And this, it's just the way that,
to clarify, you're talking about Hamnet.
From Hamnet, yeah. I don't know what happens in Jessie Buckley's personal life. I was talking about the movie Hamnet. Paul Mescal is also great, but the amount of emotion that the range that she goes through from being younger at the beginning and kind of like a strong, independent woman, she's kind of into her family and her kind of into this weird like nature mysticism type thing. So that kind of affects the way she lives her life. And then she meets Shakespeare, who's played by Paul Mescal, and how she slowly starts to like soften up and fall in love with him. Then it shows them to be happily married in this transition of like then having kids. You can gradually see the relationship kind of get strained a little bit, but because he keeps traveling to London because he's a big time playwright, but they don't live in London. So, and then they have kid and then tragedy happens. I don't want to spoil it. But like the really serious tragedy happens in their life. And just the kind of the way that's set up and like, you can kind of see it coming the way the movie sets it up. And like, even like her giving birth, there's like a scene of that in a sense. And so she's going through like youthful independence. She's going through being a housewife. She's going through being a mother. She's going through all of that, going through tragedy, and then trying to have to rebuild her life and her marriage. It's an just incredible range of emotions that she goes through. And I mean, just every time she's going through this stuff, you like are just glued to the screen in her performance. It's so convincing. It's a very, very naturalistic movie in a lot of ways. And Paul Mescal's also great. I'd say the one kind of knock on the movie for me is it's like so emotional. It's like draining to watch. And also some of the Shakespeare things, it almost feels like the Avengers of Shakespeare in a way. Like there's so many references to like Paul Mescal, literally his character recites the to be or not to be in like crying emotion. So it's almost like it borders on melodrama sometimes. But the final act of the movie is fantastic. Like
Wesley, when the Shakespeare movie references Shakespeare.
But it's like, yes, I'm not bothered with that. But sometimes it's like so much like on the nose. Like, oh yeah, this is Shakespeare. We're gonna put in all our favorite Shakespeare quotes in here. Like, okay, all right. It kind of almost takes away from like Jessie Buckley, who's actually the main character. It's more about her. And I feel like they were just throwing some Shakespeare stuff in there to make you remember, like, oh yeah, this is a movie about Shakespeare too. It kind of, some of it felt a little bit out of place and a little bit melodramatic, but still an unbelievably good movie. And Jessie Buckley, she's going to win the Oscar. She deserves it. I mean, so good in this movie.
Nice.
Okay, Jason.
Mine's a lot simpler. Michael B. Jordan, because he played two guys. It's kind of funny. Earlier this year, or earlier last year, I guess, at this point, there was another movie where a guy played two guys, and that was
Bobby Patts.
Robert Pattinson in Mickey 17.
Also a really great performance.
And I remember thinking, oh, this is great. This is cool. Very unique. I guess it's happened before, but very unique. But then Sinners came out like 2 months later, and I was like, they did it again. No, but Michael B. Jordan has like Smoke and Stack. I got the character's name right there.
Yep,
Smoke and Stack. They're like, they're not they're very similar characters, but the performance he gives, and maybe part of it's the writing, but the performance he gives, you're really able to like separate the two. To the point where like I was kind of convinced he has a twin brother or something.
Yeah.
They do a really good job. The technology has come so far along, but they do a good job of having both Michael B. Jordans on screen, and it doesn't look fake. It doesn't look like one's edited in. It literally looks like they cloned them and they put them in a red and blue outfits.
And they do feel very distinct characters.
Yeah, they're very different characters. It's like you can tell that they're twin brothers. Like they grew up, they had the same childhood, but they developed differently, which I think is very realistic if you've ever met twins. But I mean, when I was thinking about this award, I was thinking, well, Timothée Chalamet is really good. Oscar Isaac was really good. And Leonardo DiCaprio, even like David Corenswet, which I seriously consider, but he had a great performance too, as Superman. But then I just thought about none of these guys played two people. So.
Yeah, two different characters that each were great leads. Like if they were different actors,
right? You'd be debating which to give it to.
Yeah, right.
But it's the same guy.
Exactly.
It's the same guy. So Michael B. Jordan, excellent actor. You really see it. I think they really brought it out in this movie. You've heard Wesley talk about Sinners, and you probably heard everybody else go watch Sinners. It's in theaters again, believe it or not.
Yeah.
At least with AMC. So go watch it. It's a really good movie.
Nice.
All right.
Sweet.
Is that your first Sinners award of the day?
I think it is.
Nice. I've given it 2.
We're going to count it up here in a moment.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But all right. You guys
Last
ready
one.
for the Mac Daddy
Best film.
award? Before we get to the best picture,
Wait, what?
any other movies that you want to shout out before we get to the final award? Any other movie that maybe didn't get the limelight today, but you really enjoyed?
Can I give some honorable mentions?
Yeah, let's HMs. Let's do it.
Let me pull up.
I do need to
While you guys are
just mention our time. So for what we have going on after this, just so y'all know.
oh shoot, what time is the movie?
We did 4:20, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we can just skip the honorable mentions.
Okay.
All right. So our last award, fellas, you ready? It's Best Picture. We got to get through this pretty quick. But the good thing about Best Picture is we've already probably talked about this movie a lot already. Anyway,
I actually haven't.
So except for Jason. So
I'll keep mine short so Jason has more.
I think
time.
it's my turn to go first. So I went with Sinners for Best Picture 2025.
Right. Nice.
Jason.
Train Dreams.
Wow. And Asher.
Thunderbolts.
We knew it. I knew it. Yeah. So again, I've already talked at length about Sinners, but I think it's an incredible achievement of filmmaking. I don't think it's perfect, and I really, really had a hard time picking. I almost went with Frankenstein. It was so close to going Frankenstein. And yeah, I just want to shout out my top 5 of the year. Sinners, Number 1, number 2, Frankenstein. Number 3, One Battle After Another. Number 4, Hamnet, and number 5, Marty Supreme. Those would have been my 5. And yeah, but Sinners again, that I think was the pinnacle of filmmaking this year. I think it's the most culturally impactful. Not that necessarily means that it needs to win, but that's a bonus for how big it was and popular it was as an original film, being a big success in the box office, and also just really, really high quality filmmaking. So
Nice.
Congrats, Sinners. You're my winner this year. You've joined Dune as the Wesley circle of Slaty
Dune
winners.
2, right?
Dune 2.
Yeah,
Dune
part 2.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Jason.
I'll
Asher.
speak so that Jason has time, since this is a
perfect.
fresh movie for him. So yeah, anything, I'm trying to think of anything I haven't said about Thunderbolts already. Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought that, for at least for me, it was really well with it being like character driven, and I think had some really good arcs, and good visual effects, had some good choreography, and at least for the movies that I've seen, like the 2025 movies, that one I think overall like probably made the biggest impact, just with like how well the story carried throughout, and like kind of like what it left me in afterwards, like just kind of the emotions, or just the thoughts, or just like kind of the experience it provided. So yeah, Thunderbolts, best film for me.
Thunderbolts.
Congrats to Thunderbolts. Probably the
T-Bolts.
winner for most Slaties this year.
That's actually kind of funny.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Fantastic Four.
Yeah, well, I felt that Thunderbolts had a better storyline. Yeah, a better through line than Fantastic Four, because we kind of talked about it in our Fantastic Four episode.
We deep dive both of those. So
Yeah.
check those out.
I
Where-
did personally rank Thunderbolts higher than Fantastic Four.
Yeah, like I think getting
I was the other
into
way around. I had Fantastic Four higher.
getting into like kind of the second half of the movie, I felt like the plot got a little maybe convoluted and struggled maybe just a little bit on its momentum, So, whereas I think Thunderbolts had a better through line with its story and plot. So yeah.
Excellent. So yeah, best movie of the year, a latecomer, another last minute surprise for the good old Jason S. Train Dreams, starring Joel Edgerton. Gonna shout out other movies that held my top spot this year: Superman, Sinners, Weapons, and almost was my best film until I saw Train Dreams, Frankenstein. All those are really good movies. Shout out to Begonia and No Other Choice, One Battle After Another. Things that in another year would have been my number one movie.
Yeah.
This year was actually kind of stacked. I remember halfway through the year, Wesley was like, "When's the good movies coming out?" I mean, we have Sinners, but what else is it? Now there's a lot. Dude, no other choice. Train Dreams, man, a surprise by me. I didn't even know this movie existed until Wesley here sent over the Oscar nominations. I'm like, I'd seen most of these except Train Dreams and like one other thing. I was like, what's a Train Dreams? That just sounded like an Oscar baiting movie to me. Apparently it's a Netflix original, I think.
Which Jason loves.
Which I do hate.
Frankenstein also.
I know.
Netflix.
Terrible day for film enjoyers that Netflix is out here producing bangers,
But
unfortunately.
yeah, they did produce some bangers. They got props for that.
So I ended up watching that literally during the ice storm we had here in North Carolina. I was shut in. I was like, I need to catch up on a couple of more films. Luckily, one of them was streaming. And I tell you what, man, that movie, I thought Frankenstein made me emotional. Frankenstein didn't even come close to how I was like, Frankenstein brought a tear to my eye, made my eyes watery. Train Dreams actually had me crying, which I don't remember the last time I truly like bawled watching a movie. That's how, and it's a very simple story. It's very melancholic, or in maybe depending on how you view it, very beautiful. It was just so sad to me, man. It's a character who's done things I've never done and I don't necessarily relate to, but like I guess in my heart I do. Joel Edgerton's character, and it's just like the movie's literally just like, hey, let's watch this guy's life and see how he deals with these different things that happen to him, and it's awesome. And I think everybody's got Netflix. Apparently, they got so much money, so you might at least watch the good movies that they put out, please. If you're gonna watch Netflix, and Train Dreams is one of them, and Frankenstein. Watch Frankenstein. Yeah, literally came out of nowhere. I really had a hard time. I debated it for like a week, I think, on if it should be number one. And I think, 2-3 weeks removed from seeing it, I'm pretty confident. Pretty confident.
Nice.
But yeah.
Great thoughts, man.
Train Dreams. I need to see it. I'm married now, and my wife likes silly comedy movies, so I'll have to try to convince her to one night to watch Train Dreams with me.
Probably exact opposite of a silly comedy.
That's crazy. So Train Dreams with the surprise Best Picture win didn't get really mentioned at all, hardly. All day, didn't win any other Slaties except Best Picture, and maybe that's the one that ultimately matters.
This year I really felt like spreading the love with my winners. I think last year now, to be fair, Dune was the standout in a lot of things.
Dune Part 2 was the big
This year, I felt comfortable giving certain awards to different movies. Even though, like...
A nice plethora.
Like, Sinners and Frankenstein could probably take everything if I really thought about it. But
last year, Dune 2 was just far and away, like, better than everything else that came out. So it was like... Yeah, I mean, it's like, it was almost boring. Like, yeah, you got to give it this. You got to give it this. You want variety, but if you're being honest, you got to give it this. But this year was definitely more of a competition, I think. So before we get going here, we have 4 minutes. What is the final tally for...
I'm literally counting it up.
Most awards.
I'm counting it up. Jake Schreier, that's the director for Thunderbolts, yeah.
So how many did Thunderbolts have?
So Thunderbolts and Tron, I believe, are tied for 4.
All 4 came from Asher from the Thunderbolts.
4. Now let's find Sinners. So Sinners has 1 from you.
For me?
I'm literally just going down the list, man. Give me a second.
How many Sinners do we have?
Sinners score.
How many people are on her?
Picture. I think Sinners has 4.
You gave it Ryan Coogler. You gave it
I gave
score,
it 3.
And you gave it best film. And then I gave it best lead. So it also has 4. Some company, huh?
One Battle After Another got 1, right? For a screenplay.
Well, let's see. So
No Other Choice got 1.
Oh no, wait.
Fantastic Four got 1.
Thunderbolts actually has 5. I forgot he gave it score.
You gave it score,
so Thunderbolts,
director,
wins,
picture,
by the way,
and actor. Wow, Asher with Asher giving it, and that's crazy. Me and Jason didn't give Thunderbolts anything. We all have different opinions.
Well, Thunderbolts was in my top 10 for most of the year. It's not anymore, but Thunderbolts was really good. Watch it. We did a deep dive on it. Go watch it. See how much.
I want to say, did I nominate Thunderbolts? I had a shout out on Biggest Surprise for Thunderbolts. Long Walk had 1. There's a lot that have 1.
Frankenstein, I think, has 3.
Frankenstein had 3. I think I gave it visual design and Elordi, and you gave Elordi as well.
Yeah, we both gave it Elordi, and then you gave it visual design. So yeah,
Tron Ares had more than Frankenstein.
To be fair, we have really fun awards that
if we didn't count the Rule of Cool, I think it'd be a lot different.
Yeah.
If Tron would only have like 2, I think.
It would have 2. 1 for best score, 1 for best sound.
Yeah.
And I'm only pulling from 6 movies. That's how many 2025 movies I've seen.
So Asher is not pulling from as wide a huge variety.
Pool. Yeah.
All right, Weapons has 2, both from me. I have a best sound and surprise movie of the year. And then I think everything else is 1.
We all had our own kind of lines. I feel like the most universally liked one was probably Tron. in terms of like awards nominations.
Yeah.
It wasn't like in the big categories. It was kind of in more of the smaller ones, like
The niche.
Rule of Cool. I didn't give it any awards, but I shouted it out in like visual design and sound.
Yeah.
I would say, what is the definitive best picture for the boys this year, though? A movie that all three of us saw, that all of us, it'd probably be Thunderbolts, honestly.
Of the things we saw together.
Yeah. I really liked Fantastic Four more because I think it felt more fresh. I think it felt tonally like really solid, but visually looked really great.
Yeah. Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are almost basically like on the same pedestal for me.
So I think the Slaty movie of the year goes to Thunderbolts.
So
overall,
unless I'm counting it wrong, Thunderbolts with 5, Tron and Sinners with 4, Frankenstein with 3, Weapons with 2, and then everything else has just 1 award. Wow. No other repeats.
So
that's
a little variety.
Very different. Thunderbolts. If we're going based off of the Slaty system, Thunderbolts is the best movie of 2025.
So all the best picture winners in the history of the Slaties, I think, are Dune Part 2, which both of us gave it, right?
Yes, we both get. What did
you gave it to Inside Out too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Train Dreams, Sinners, and Thunderbolts. We have 5 different best picture winners.
That's pretty good. That's a good
Over
variety.
2 years, yeah.
It's a good variety.
Well, fellas, it's been a lot of fun.
It has been.
We have a movie to catch, believe it or not. So
What?
we have to get going, but really, really appreciate a great year of movies. And we're looking forward to another great year of podcasting. So
Yeah.
This is fun.
we will be back soon,
On the
or
side.
maybe this is actually the second one. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we
He
should do
wrote
the
episode
news.
32 there, so this
Okay.
has to be the 32nd episode.
So we'll do the Slaties first.
Or it can just be a funny goof.
It could be a funny goof. So either
We'll
way,
figure it out.
This is either episode 32 or 33. Stay tuned. Yeah, so this has been the On the Slate Movie Podcast. Make sure you this is the Poopy Podcast. Make sure you follow us, like us, subscribe us on any platforms. We really appreciate it. Helps us out a lot.
YouTube,
we love doing this.
TikTok. Email.
And we got new hats, so reach out if you want a hat. So
it's a good hat.
$75. No, I'm just kidding.
$75.
my gosh.
This is 2026 now. No, I was kidding.
So we are your hosts, Wesley,
Jason,
And Asher.
We hope you have a wonderful time, and God bless. See you in the next one.
Ba-dum-bum,
Adios.
pow.